Hello, KUCD. Rachel reported in here with the Avengers. So sadly I couldn't be at taking the plunge in person, so I thought I'd send a video of what I've been up to since then. So right after I graduated in May, I was asleep for 2 weeks. And it's not like I woke up at all, like I was asleep straight for 2 weeks. And then I had plans to move to New York City. I had roommates and everything, and I was just actively applying to jobs in New York, Brooklyn area. And I actually was in the final interview stages of a nonprofit called Catch a Fire when the week before I had received a text from a friend who actually works at Disney saying, hey, my friend down here needs an intern. They need, sorry, this is short notice, so you're looking at the time span, you'd have to be down in Orlando, the next week. So I was like, well, I don't, the fact that I almost second guessed that and didn't, it's Disney. So of course I took it, and it was just a great experience. So I started my internship with NGE in July, end of July. So NGE stands for Next Generation Experience, and they deal with any new technology that is going on in the park. So they center around enhancing the guest experience at Disney World. So their latest project is the Magic Band. So it's right here. It's a new it's a new park admission, a way to get into your hotel. It's RFID, just like your credit card at the supermarket or wherever. So these have become the new thing at Disney, pretty much. So it's a big learning curve for a lot of people that have just been so used to the old way, paper fast passes and stuff like that. So big transition period, but it's like a multi-million-dollar project. So definitely very cool to be a part of. So during my internship, let's say I was the first intern of NGE, first design intern. And so they weren't really sure, I didn't have an established role. I kind of helped out on whatever I could. And sometimes people think intern, okay, they get coffee and stuff. No. I was pretty much a full-time employee. Sometimes I worked 60-hour weeks and didn't even think anything of it because, you're designing, and that's what we do, is we design. That's our life. So it's definitely really, really fun. I did get my leaders there. They're like, your work ethic is very interesting. I was like, yep, went to design school. We'll die designing, pretty much. That's our goal in life. We love to design. We'll die over our design. So while I was interning, I worked on a lot of Magic Band stuff. And also perspective work that's going to be used with the Magic Bands, as far as intelligent menus, mobile ordering, mostly centered around food and beverage in Walt Disney World. So that involved a lot of UI work, which my portfolio was anything but that. I had package design, ad, stationery, so it's interesting. So now I have a lot of UI, so my portfolio is really well-rounded now. But I think why I shied away from UI design before was because I just couldn't get the coding, I was so scared of that. Well, since Disney's such a big corporation, I was able just to be the front-end design, and then you pass it on to a coder. So I was like, okay, I can do that. So that's nice. So I didn't have to worry about the coding, but I was still able to communicate with them because I had taken classes where I learned all that stuff. So I was able to work with them versus some of the designers there like, what? I don't know. Not paying attention to the size of things and on your different devices, the sizing of the design you're making, and all that fun stuff. I also was a part of Disney's really weird. They spend more money to get more money. So what we had to do was pretty much built a set, and we created Disney environments that are around the parks and stuff, where our new technology would be showcased. So pretty much a testing lab area made to look like certain hotels, certain parts of the attractions, just so we can walk executives through to trying to sell this stuff to them. So essentially, it's a big pitch. So I worked on pitch decks more than I'm good. If I ever see a pitch deck again, it'll be too soon. But as an intern, you're not usually in contact with a lot of executives. I met the executive of the whole company, which I didn't think anything of it because I didn't know who people were. So now, yeah. It was, let's just say, the whole experience was very eye-opening. So right now, my internship ended at the end of January. Since I was the first intern, they weren't quite sure what my role would be, and it turns out they needed someone with more illustration skills, and not like hardcore like drafting and all that stuff. So it's not like, oh, you suck. Like it's almost like they needed an architect type of drafting, that pristine type of drawing. So they didn't want to leave me. They didn't want to be like, oh, okay, you're done with your internship. Go do it, whatever. They actually helped me get a job in the guest-facing side of things. I working in the park. Not the most glamorous thing, but it's definitely very cool to see how guests are using the things that I designed. So I worked daily with an iPad with the UI functioning that I had designed. So it's really nice to see how this is actually working in a real setting. So that's a mini accomplishment for me. So right now, as I chose to stay with the company, and I can apply internal, which you get dibs over people applying external. So right now, working part-time with booking fast passes for people pretty much. The new fast pass system's no longer paper tickets. You have to go through using the UI I designed. And so right now I'm just doing that part-time. I've had 2 interviews, one with park events operations with Disney. They're in charge of all the events, so they'll set up Star Wars weekends. Yay. And other annual festivals such as Flower and Garden, Food and Wine. So if I would get that role, I would be in charge of, making the designs of what the actual, the banners, the 3D sculptures are going to look like. And then I also have to find people to help me to build those things and set that stuff up. So it's a little bit of designing and managing. So that's kind of weird to me because, I've just always designed stuff. So the fact that I could possibly be managing a lot of people, a little bit scary, but I'm ready for the challenge. Another role I just had an interview with today was merchandising. It's a graphic design sign specialist. So I'd be in charge of all the signage that's themed to different areas of the different stores. So in Magic Kingdom, down Main Street, a lot of that Victorian era, those signs are constantly changing based on any events that are going on. Right now, Frozen's really big all over the parks, all of them. So a lot of the signage I'd be working on would be Frozen themed, whether it's promoting the new the DVD release or events that they're having in the park. So it's pretty cool because I'd be it's stuff I know, it's just designing and print, I know all that. But I think I'd rather have it'd be great if I could get the park events operation one. I think it'd be really fun to share my ideas and have it built in real life, have stuff for events built, I don't know. So also down in Florida, it's a little far away from Pennsylvania. That was a big thing for me, just switching, not knowing anyone down here. I knew one person and I'd hardly ever see them. So I had to make new friends and everything, but since I am a part of AIGA, I was able to network with people in the Orlando chapter. I just kind of switched over since I'm a paying member. I've been going to some meetings, different things that they held. Last Wednesday, I went to a screen printing class, which was pretty awesome. And then just meeting people in different design agencies. Actually, downtown Orlando has a very big like creative scene, which you wouldn't think, but it does. So that's pretty much what I've been up to, trying to be a functional adult. That's very weird. Yeah. So I sleep like a regular person. I don't do the wee hours in the morning. I'm pretty much in bed by 10 because I have to get up at ass crack to go to work. But it was a little bit of a transition from college. I do miss CD a lot because we had such a great creative environment. You're surrounded by all your classmates, working on the same stuff. You could take and feed your ideas from people. Versus working in a corporate area, it's sometimes, at least for where I was at Disney, it was me and like one other designer. I wasn't in a design department. I was just a branch of something else. And I was working with engineers who do not think the same as creative people do. So that was a big adjustment. Not totally bad because, again, you're only one of the creatives and they think you're God because you can do all this stuff on the computer. So that's a cool feeling. But yeah, so to all you graduating in May, good luck. Don't be scared. Network. It sucks, but that's pretty much by talking to people 9 times out of 10, getting to know people in your field, that's how you're going to get your job. They told it to us when we were graduating. I didn't believe them. Now I do. I'm like, oh, it makes sense now. I was so stubborn. I was like, no, I can get it by applying places. 9 times out of 10, it's who you know. That's how you're going to get the job. And be very confident about your work because all you guys work really hard. I was slaving over stuff, not sleeping forever. You guys, everyone, I know everybody in KUCD, you're talented. Do not be ashamed of your work. You go into that interview, whatever interview it is, and you kick ass. What up? I'm a KUCD. I'm amazing. This is my work, and I'm proud of it. See you guys.